want your business to go to another level. You must try to learn and hear something new. So make the change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Testing Results, yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Tony Harris Taylor. Testing Results, oh yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to the Drastic Franchise Connector Show with Tony Harris Taylor. I am happy to be here. I am your host, Tony Harris Taylor, with Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, where I work with franchisors to teach their franchisees how to show up, be up, follow up, so they can blow up their business. I'm also a Network in Action franchisee, and that's where I bring franchise suppliers and business owners together virtually to create community connections, get more collaborations, get some coaching so we can make more cash together. I have a couple of other titles, including the founder of the Multicultural Franchise Connectors, and I am a franchise consultant, matchmaker with Drastic Franchise Matchmakers. Yes, the bottom line, the thread that runs through everything I do is connections. And so I have updated the name of the show, rebranded the name of the show, because Drastic Franchise Connectors is what I'm really aiming to do. And I'm just grateful to have this community and following. Today, I want to talk about a topic that may be just a little bit like either you're going to feel like, ugh, this doesn't belong here, or it's about time that we talk about it. And that's faith in business. Faith in business. I'm not talking religion per se, but I'm talking about how does faith play a part in your business success. So you're going to hear from my guest, Steve Lieber of Bankruptcy, and he's probably going to tell you the story of how faith helped him. But one of the things that I teach in networking, and it's just a quick thing that I say, but I don't know if it lands with everybody. And that quick thing that I say is, before I go to an event, I always pray that God puts the right people in my path. That's it. It's that simple. But that one simple thing has changed the trajectory of my life and my business. Now, yes, I still got to show up. I still got to look the part. I still got to have great energy. But ultimately, when I'm at an event that has hundreds, maybe thousands of people, and I end up meeting that right person, that's not accidental. Let's be clear. It is not accidental. And so I can tell you story after story of how someone comes into my life just at the right time, and it changes the game. I'll give you a story. Part of what I am doing now, and you heard in my intro, is Drastic Franchise Matchmakers. That means I am a franchise consultant. I became a franchise consultant recently because I showed up at an event in Philadelphia. I prayed the prayer, put the right people in my path. I was taking a picture at the headshot booth. I cannot resist a headshot booth. And so I was taking a picture at the headshot booth, and Alicia Visconti and Joan Winchester from FranServe walked up to the booth. Now, little did they know I was considering becoming a franchise consultant anyway, and had not made any decisions which way I was going to go. We struck up a conversation, loved them instantly, had been following Alicia. And then, and then I decided these are my people. I did not show up to that event to make a decision about being a franchise consultant. But because I showed up to the event, I asked for help. They came into my path. There was about 600 people there. Lots of people I never crossed paths with. And now I'm a part of their family. So we're going to hear from Steve. He has a great story of how faith played a part in basically bringing him out of bankruptcy. And so we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about his brand. And you're just going to meet a real cool guy that I met because I showed up in West Palm Beach. And it's going to be an amazing conversation. So we'll be right back with Steve with BurgerFi. All right, we are back with my friend Steve Lieber from BurgerFi. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Steve.
Hi, Tony.
Hey there. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on the show. My name is Steve Lieber. I'm known pretty much as Steve from BurgerFi. I've been working with BurgerFi for the past 15 years. And, it's kind of a great job to constantly meet families that come to your restaurant that, have a great meal and to be part of the community and to be a lot of kids' first jobs. So, it's really, really a great position to be in. And I'm happy to be on the show. And just to let everybody know, one of the reasons that I reached out to Tony is, she's irresistible. Her energy is irresistible. We met a couple of different shows before and kind of, I was watching her and it's like, well, what's this lady all about? And what she dressed very flamboyantly and she gets a crowd around her and she gets everybody's energy going up around her and what's going on with her, and I wanted to be part of it. And, so I approached her at the Titus Center of Franchising, which is a faith-based university where Tony and I both are on the board of advisors of franchising. And basically what our role is to expose college kids to franchising and to show them that franchising is a whole plethora of industries. It's not just a McDonald's,
Correct.
Correct. And, so it's an honor to be on the Titus board of franchising and work with people like Tony to promote franchising. A lot of the franchises that we work with are what we call smaller, kind of independent one-person franchises, like a home services, a painting company, a pressure cleaning company, somebody who helps you get a new closet or new organize and build a closet or a new bathroom. Those type of businesses are very, very popular. They're very, very successful. And it's great to be around people that are looking to become entrepreneurs because they're all interested in the same thing. They're all interested in providing a better future for their family. And that's what I'm all about. As Tony knows, I've had the honor to adopt a bunch of children in Costa Rica, and something I never thought I would do in my life. And somebody says, how does a guy who was a busboy grow up to become a restaurant general manager and then become a vice president of franchising and then somehow adopt children in another country? How does all that happen? And number one, I believe it happens from good faith and having a great mother and a great father who weren't, my parents were not religious. My father, I don't even think believes in God, but they taught me to be a caring person and a loving person. And that's another thing that attracted me to Tony. When she's out there, she's doing this to promote business. If she makes money on it, it'll come eventually, but that's not her motivation. Her motivation is to help a business deal happen. And Tony will tell you one thing, that this is probably the best piece of advice I'll give during the entire show. There are no good deals with bad people. I'll repeat.
Ooh, repeat that. Yes.
No good deals with bad people.
Yeah.
So when you listen to Warren Buffett or somebody who is a tremendous, the top investor of all time, many people give him credit, he'll tell you that he looks at the people very, very carefully when he's looking at companies. And if the people are not good people, he doesn't care how great the company is. He doesn't care how much money it is. He will not do business unless they're good people. Another thing he says is that it takes you 57 years to build a reputation and 57 seconds to screw it up.
Yes. Listen, listen, let me jump in here. I love you, Steve. And I didn't know what's interesting about everything you said, especially about observing me. And this is key for the audience. You never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. And that's why when you show up, you have to show up in a way that people will be attracted to you, even if they don't say anything. And it wasn't until this was our second Titus event together that you then invited me into your community. And I appreciate that. So that's another thing. Everybody, you have to show up in love. That's another thing that I have. Show up in love and the right people will see you and be attracted to you. Now, I want to talk about, you're now BurgerFi is a part of a conglomerate of other families of restaurants. How did this happen?
Well, we, at 2020, BurgerFi was on its own. It was a great company with about 110 restaurants. And somebody came to us and said, we want to take you public. We want to take you to the stock market. And we thought it was a great idea. But what we didn't know is that the company was called a SPAC, a Special Purpose Acquisition Corporation. But a SPAC really is not a high-level management company. They're just an investment company. And unfortunately, the ones that we were involved with were unscrupulous. Mm-hmm. So they bought BurgerFi for a fair amount of money. It had zero debt. Not we didn't owe anybody one penny. And then they used the good faith and good credit of the company to buy another company for $150 or $60 million, a pizza chain called Anthony's Cold Fire Pizza. And that company was weighted down with $120 million worth of debt. Mm-hmm. And so by buying the company, that debt became our debt. And literally within 9 to 12 months, our company was now bankrupt. The special acquisition company had made money on the purchase of Anthony's. They got paid on the sale of Anthony's. They got paid on the sale of BurgerFi originally. So they had made two large multi-million-dollar piles of money and then left the company to crash and burn, resulting in over 30 restaurant closures. And people go, wow, 30 restaurant closures, that hurts a bunch of landlords,
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really. It also hurts 600 families that depended on that paycheck for their living. And here these people were working in a restaurant, working hard, doing their job, and didn't know that something else was going to cause them to lose their job right before Christmas. So obviously we were under a lot of pressure. A new lender had bought our debt from the bank, and they wanted to get paid. And so we were able to sell the Anthony's company right away, but BurgerFi wasn't selling because people were scared of another burger chain, and they see how tough the restaurant industry and how thin the margins were. And literally it was coming to just a couple of weeks before Christmas. And again, I have 4 or 5 children that I'm taking care of in Costa Rica. So it doesn't leave me a large cushion of savings and things like that. So I was starting to get very negative and very worried and very concerned of how I was going to take care of my family. So I had no other choice but to double down on my praise. There was nothing else. There was nothing else to do. So I doubled down on my prayers and hoped that a buyer would show up. And then a guy named Happy Asker showed up. And guess what? We had met Happy and his family at the Fort Lauderdale Franchise Expo at the Broward County Convention Center 2 years ago. And Happy said, don't we know you from somewhere? We own Savvy Sliders. And we go, yeah, we met you at the franchise show and you invited us to the grand opening at Tamarack, and we came to your restaurant and we tried the hamburgers. That was 2 years ago.
Wow.
And sure enough, you could see the connections of the universe were starting to move the way that they move, and the stars were starting to align. And literally on the Thursday or Friday afternoon before Christmas Eve, Happy was able to get the courts to agree to let him purchase the restaurants. The devil or the evil side was still working against us at that time. The price was agreed upon. Then when the purchase actually came, there was still another $2 million worth of other bills that were unpaid.
Oh no.
But Happy still stood up and said, I'm into this thing. So then he had thought, well, I'm just going to buy this BurgerFi thing and I'm going to switch the restaurants to my restaurant, Savvy Sliders, and we'll double the size of our chain and we'll just go forward. But when he came to Florida and when he visited the restaurants with his wife, they saw how great the people were. They saw how beautiful the restaurants were. And he said, you know what? This chain is too good to demolish. We're going to try to bring it back to its original glory. We're going to try to be the comeback kid of 2025. So you heard it from me and Tony here today. BurgerFi is going to be the comeback brand of 2025. Come and visit us. Come bring your family. Come try our burgers, our milkshakes, our French fries, our onion rings. Satisfaction is guaranteed. If you don't like it, you have my email right there, Steve@BurgerFi. But I guarantee you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, Steve. And when we come back, we're going to talk about 2 important things: drastic steps and networking. We'll be right back with Steve Lieber.
Are you a franchisor grappling with how to stimulate your franchisees' growth and revenue? Are the phrases, I'm not comfortable networking. I'm an introvert. Enter Tony Harris Taylor, your answer to these challenges. With her expert guidance and program, you can empower your franchisees to conquer networking and community outreach. Tony's program is designed to equip your franchisees with the skills and confidence to show up to the right events with the right people. It goes beyond making connections. It's about nurturing and leveraging these relationships. It's about following up, collaborating, and generating leads and referrals to maximize conversions. And ultimately, increased revenue for your franchisees and for you, the franchisor. Are you ready to unlock this potential? Reach out to us at 832-479-2088. Let's embark on this journey of growth and success together.
We're back with my guest, Steve Lieber. So, Steve, networking. You met Happy, which I love that name. You met Happy at a franchise show. You showed up to his grand opening, which made him remember you. And then y'all, as you said, made reconnection. And now you guys are in partnership. So that's just one illustration. How important is networking to business success, period?
How important? It's the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, and it's the last thing I do before I go to bed every night. And you say, come on, Steve, what do you're kid, you're BSing us a little bit. I'm actually not, and because I know you're just like me, Tony, that you get up and you start off your day with your water with lemon or whatever your morning routine is, your tea, and you start walking around and stretching and do your flexibility, and you're thinking about how grateful you are that you woke up this morning and that everybody in your family is healthy and happy and business is going great. And then the next thing, we're checking LinkedIn. We're checking LinkedIn for our messages. Correct. We're checking LinkedIn to make sure the posts that you and I put last night that were supposed to pop up at 7:30 showed up at 7:30, and that we didn't make a typographical error on any of them, that we don't need to edit them and check them. And we're making sure that we're getting how our posts from yesterday did and which one are getting traction. And then we're checking our messages, more importantly, and see who wants to talk to us about what we posted.
Correct.
And then we're looking at what's coming up in our stream that's relevant. Like if it's a great article about leadership or a great article about parenting or something that I want other people to see, I'll repost that so that people will see other stuff on my LinkedIn channel that's of value to them. So I do a lot of stuff about leadership, a lot of stuff about other great restaurants. And then the other third is about BurgerFi and me and my life and my family. But about 2/3 of it is content that's going to help my friends and my business associates be interested and save them time throughout the day, that this article is so relevant that I think you should read it, Tony. Awesome. And that's how I decide what I'm posting. This is how I decide how I'm networking. Then, because you've seen me at many shows now, I have a show calendar How many shows would I like to go to a year? Probably 40. If you gave me a budget, I would probably go to 40. But realistically, obviously, you can't go to 40 shows, and you have to, you have to have a normal life. So if you can get to 10 or 12 fantastic shows a year, well, which shows do I want to go to?
Correct.
My goals this year are not a lot. I don't need a lot of education this year. I need a lot of action. So I'm specifically looking for multi-unit franchisors that already are in franchising. Maybe they own a chicken brand. Maybe they own a Panera Bread or something like that, or a Jersey Mike's or something, and they've already grown out their trade area, and they can't build any more Jersey Mike's, and they can't build any more Panera Breads. So now maybe they'll take a shot with Savvy Sliders or BurgerFi, or maybe one of the other brands, or maybe they'll look for another trade area. So that'll be my next part of the day. And then, and then all the way at the end of the night, you're like, I'm winding down. I'm checking the last emails of the day, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. Is there any issues going on at any of my restaurants that, any general managers need any help? Does anybody have any equipment that's not getting repaired that maybe if they see that my name is on the email, they'll pay attention and fix the grill or the fryer quicker because
correct.
Watching now, that's what I'll do. And I'm taking care of my network, and I'm helping managers. And that's how my mother said to me, everybody looks at the bottom of my email and it says, work hard and help as many people as possible. What's that all about? And I tell them that my mother was sick and she was dying of cancer. And they told me, you need to go see your mom right away. Mm-hmm. And I got to the hospital and I said, Ma, how you doing? And she says, I'm dying. Get over here. And then when I got over there next to her, she said, I want you to work hard and I want you to help as many people as possible.
And that is what you are doing. So tell everybody how to get in touch with you, Steve.
The easiest way to get in touch with me is Steve at BurgerFi. So Steve at BurgerFi.com. Very, very easy. My phone number is area code 305-409-3594. You can also reach me on WhatsApp. So it's +1 305-409-3594 for all of our friends internationally in Mexico and Canada. Please reach out. We're active in both of those franchise associations, and we're always looking for new franchise partners. You can never have enough. The restaurant business is fantastic because if you have passion and you have hard work, we can teach you everything else, and you can go as high as you want to go.
Well, I appreciate you giving me some of your time today, sir. I want to thank you for coming on the show. I love your energy as well. Mm-hmm. We are so aligned, and I expect in 2025, you and I specifically will do more together.
I'm sure we will. We're gonna work hard, and we're gonna help as many people as possible together.
Love that so much. We'll be right back with my final thoughts. That's right. Showuptoblowup.com. So pick up your copy of the book. That URL will take you right to the Amazon order page. And then also you can go to schedule an appointment with me at meetwithtonyharristaylor.com. If you're interested in picking up a franchise, BurgerFi or any others, please get on my calendar and let's talk about it, and I'll make the connections for you. Wasn't that an amazing conversation? How faith and showing up and being connected and networking changed the game for Steve. And he came back around from a big upset on the brink of bankruptcy. But because he kept showing up, they got bought out. I couldn't have scripted that any better. So don't forget, in order to be successful, you must show up. And you're going to connect with the right people, places, and things that will change the trajectory of your life. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. And remember, Steve just messaged me, show up and never give up hope.